and certainly we're getting a lot of lightning in these storms, and that's going to continue to be the threat. I mentioned that 80 degrees. Now, that was the critical temperature. There's been so many storms now roll over the Atlanta metro that the temperatures have dropped from rain and hail cooling down to 64, 66. So these storms gradually weakening, still with a lightning threat. The biggest storm is the one down here to the southeast, where it's moving into areas near Jonesboro and McDonough that have not had any cooling, and so that's where the storm is going to roll a bit longer, but still another half hour to an hour, and these last of the storms will roll out of the Atlanta metro area. If we have time, let's go to a 3D radar. We'll take a look. Whatever we can see, in fact, all the lightning with this. This is the storm that is coming into Atlanta at the moment, but we'll perhaps take a look at that in detail later.
So you have one storm going, and that cools the air, and then you have the other storm behind, and it weakens it. So that's good. That's good
it's
news.
Finally interfering instead of developing new storms.
Well, we need to have rain in the south because there are wildfires burning in South Carolina. We don't want severe weather with it. Let's check in with Jim Cantore here, who is in North Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. Jim, a lot of times when I've been on these fires, it's very interesting how fires work. I would think, I don't know if you guys think this at home, the fire would just go through the entire community. But more times than not, a house here is burned, this house is standing, this house is burned to the ground. Are we seeing the same thing here in South Carolina tonight?
You know, Stevie, it's kind of interesting. This fire has been pretty steadily moving. It's been moving with the wind, and then, of course, with the wind changing direction today and coming in with a sea breeze, it started going back around the other way. You'd think, well, okay, if a line is advancing, then if it goes back, it's going to go back over burned area, right? Well, not necessarily, because you've got the outer edges of the fire, the curls, that have now turned around and started going back the other way on the fuel, which has not necessarily been burned at all. So they're very tricky. They're very dynamically driven by the wind and obviously the fuel source as well. Well, I'll bring in Peter Rogers, who's from the Allendale Fire District. He's the battalion chief here to get an idea of what's going on here. Peter, give us the latest on this fire here. First of all, we go back to yesterday. We get the call. We've got one main area, which actually has spread into two. So you've got a fire here in North Myrtle Beach and obviously the big one in Horry County.
Right, we've got a huge fire right now. It's estimated at 19,600 acres. South Carolina State Forestry issued that number late this afternoon. A lot of resources are here. North Carolina, South Carolina. Incident management team, which I'm a part of, was brought in to assist in Horry County. A lot of these firefighters have been working over 24 hours to contain these fires. Their number one concern is the safety, not just only for themselves, but for the residents of Horry County and all those that may be visiting.
All right, North Myrtle Beach fire. How is that fire doing?
That fire right now, they've got 85% containment on it, but unfortunately 69 homes were destroyed.
And what about the Horry County fire, which is the one that started heading inland today with the sea breeze?
Right now, the Horry County fire as a whole, excluding the North Myrtle Beach area, is 40% contained. The exact number of homes destroyed is unknown right now.
And the Black Hawk aircraft that helped today, are they grounded tonight essentially because of the dark?
Right. Right now, for safety precautions, all aircraft will be grounded overnight. Come first thing in the morning, they'll be hitting the air again.
And biggest concern here with this fire?
The biggest concern right now is safety. Residents. A fire pops up overnight, that breeze comes in, it flares up, it slowly moves towards the residents. Before you know it, plants, bushes, trees ignite, they catch a house on fire, a resident may be in the bed at that time. That's the number one concern. Residents need to be aware of what's going on. And if they see something they take concern with, call 911.
Yeah, definitely. If you see a new fire spark up, thank you, Peter. We appreciate that. So, Steph, there you go. Almost 20,000 acres now with this one. A historic fire, especially from the homes that have burned, which have now been 69. Another 100 on top of that damage.
A little too early for these fires to start, Jim, already this early in the season. All right.